King Herod has just gained control of his kingdom. It's about 37 BC, and he's looking for a place far removed from a city. So he heads into the Judea desert. He's looking for a high mesa with a great water view, something like the Dead Sea. He doesn't care that the Dead Sea is really a lake that's 10 times saltier than the ocean. He didn't want to fish anyway. He just wanted security, which he could get by building on top of an isolated plateau 1,500 feet above the surface of the water. He found Masada, which is our next stop, back in Israel. It's a national park now, and it has a story to tell. Today, Masada gets about 750,000 visitors a year. But when Herod spotted this flat-topped mountain, access looked difficult. And that's what he liked. On this model, you can see that there are no easy ways up. One of our group undertook the snake path, but it took him a while. We found a better route to the top, a way not available to King Herod. We were rewarded with dramatic, sweeping views of the desert and the Dead Sea. We made our way toward one of 2 palaces Herod built, this one on a cliff with a scenic overview. He liked the vista so much, he built his palace on not 1 but 3 levels. No easy feat. If the countryside looks a little dry, it is. Only about 4 inches of rain fall in this area each year, sporadically creating a flow in dry creek beds like this one. To capture the winter rainfall, Herod had cisterns carved from the rock and connected them to an elaborate system of channels. He needed water for his swimming pool, believe it or not, and his Roman-style baths. Did I mention that Herod enjoyed his little luxuries? Brightly painted walls added to the decor, as did tile floors. Imagine a floor placed on top of these columns. The perfect temperature could then be maintained with water below. This is a mock-up of how water was routed behind the walls to assure the comfort of King Herod's spa. I promised you a story, so listen up to learn what happened after Herod's death and the annexation of Judea to the Roman Empire in 6 AD. The Romans stationed a garrison at Masada, but 60 years later, the fortress was taken over by Jewish zealots, who turned the former stable you see here into a synagogue, and remodeled Herod's baths to meet the requirements of Jewish rituals. Take a look around as I continue the story. In 70 AD, the Romans destroyed Jerusalem's Second Temple. That brought another wave of Jewish rebels to Masada, seeking safety. Rome was on the march, and in about 74 AD, they laid siege to Masada as the last rebel stronghold in Judea. Reportedly, they staged 8,000 troops around the base, and after several months of siege, began to breach the wall with a battering ram. Here's where the story becomes either heroic or unbelievable. The rebel leader Eleazar ben Yair reportedly persuaded his 960 Jewish followers on Masada to commit mass suicide with these words: "Let our wives die before they are abused, and our children before they have tasted slavery. And after we have slain them, let us bestow that glorious benefit upon one another. The Romans will know we have preferred death before slavery." Archaeologists have not been able to find more than a couple of dozen skeletons, but the story continues to inspire Israel and its military leadership to this day. Meanwhile, starlings like these have been present at Masada for thousands of years. Perhaps their ancestors were witness to the truth.